Good morning, all. I work in the Franche-Comté region in Dijon, and I'm also a member of the network of aquatic environment management of our region, and this is why I'm trying. Well, I will explain that. In fact, we have a meshing of regional networks of technicians and mission officers working on rivers, and these regional networks have decided to get together to try to provide a shared knowledge at the national scale. We all work on our, on the little corner, but some formats, we could be shared more generously today. This TV channel, Réseau Rivière, was last started in March 2020, and we were able to provide to organize technical and scientific discussions targeting 150 technicians for each region. Next slide. Concerning the objectives of the channel, it's a non-commercial channel. We get contributions from the various participants, technicians, network facilitators. The vocation is to talk to technicians and to impact national change. The idea is how could we better help one another and share return of experience. It is come in addition to on-site actions. And I want to say that I want to thank the work done by Le Gras and Azab and the Zabre and the scientific works as mentioned by Elodie. Next, the result for a year now is that we've had about 40 videos on the site, and in fact, well, we had a guest, of course, half our own live, live, and the results showed that clearly there is demand for this type of conference because we got 100 to 600 views per videos. And a specific case, we also wanted to, well, hence the importance of our presence today, wanted to talk and to researchers and absolute researchers talk. And we had 9 episodes where we invited the researchers from our zones, our different regions of France. Now, for research, together with Watch2 Lyon, we imagined several formats. And instead of that, my thesis in 90 seconds, which is being debated today in the media, well, we proposed my thesis in 5 minutes, which is a time of discussion to make it possible to establish a link between the laboratories, the researchers, the PhD students and sites. Everything is done in thesis or PhDs are questions that are raised on sites, but we don't necessarily have a good feedback. So we organize several events with the objective 3-4 PhD students would present in 5 minutes the exercise, to do a synthesis and kind of pedagogy as well, because you got it has to be simple, but it has to be interesting. And we had several proposals we could give, a little sort of a fun side. We can talk about science, but in a nice way, and and talk on very serious topics, complex, but while keeping a little side which is fun and using. Several PhD students came and accepted the challenge of to give a fun aspect to their presentation. I'm done, and I will leave the floor to Jérémy now. mission officer, and I'm also part of the manager network of the Rhône-Alpes-Franche-Comté. I joined Antoine for Réseau Rivière TV for interviews. The objective is simple observation. Well, sometimes, often, where there is a link is missing between the studies done by researchers and applications that can be done on site, because when you're a manager, you don't have time to look for all the studies that exist, and it's difficult to understand what they can be done. There is often the language barrier. So the idea was to go and look for these researchers who do studies, which may lead to management, and the researchers should be able to present the studies, what's the interest, and what were the possible outcomes, and to give a time for Q&A, longer Q&A session. We could go much longer for that. The managers could ask questions and go to the bottom of topics. So 1 to 3 researchers live, and with partnerships which vary from Sabre, H2 Lyon, or INRAE in next slide. So this is one of the examples. What future for intermittent rivers with Mathieu, sorry, Thibaut Datry. It lasted an hour and a half, if I remember well, the presentation study, and then a lot of Q&A about what can be done and what could we get on site and to apply the scientific progress on site. Next slide. In addition to this, we conduct a reflection, but this will be implemented later on. What we call this small ads for research, we sometimes, people look for rivers are problematic, so they are already syndicates that already exist. So basically, if you want to do on-site managers to apply a study, well, would be do FTD exchange forum where researchers can get into relation with the managers and to find the domains of scope of study. Sorry. To come back to so we got a couple of subjects, how to succeed the follow-ups. You see, the research is not just on everything. It could be a societal aspect, social aspect, which are becoming more and more significant. Soft hydraulics in agricultural world, storage and water economy, impermeabilization and urban vegetation. And this is a listing we did ourselves. If you go to the ideas and studies, well, which could be interesting for us, we'd like to do interviews on that. If you got topics that you'd like you have in list or you would suggest, and you can send it to the mail address. Got time for a couple of questions or reactions, possibly. Olivier Saint-Pierre is in a neighboring community. There are practitioners in all the engineering office who do modification, restoration of rivers. Are those people integrated in your group? Are they present in your group? In fact, the invitations we send are done through the networks of the regional networks, which have their own diffusion systems or broadcasting system. Of course, this is open to all those who want to register, but to disseminate the information, we don't have the links, but it is possible to register going on the River TV. You'll see a subscription bulletin to get the information. So notes are produced by the various networks, and some are available, others not.